Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome back. So for today's video, I'm going to be testing out some new makeup. So this is the look that I created today. Once again, I wanted to go a little bit outside of my neutral brown comfort zone and do something with a little bit of color. So I really hope that you guys enjoy it. And today's video is also in collaboration with Nivea, which is super cool. They actually sent over their new priming moisturizer, which I will be testing out in today's video. So I really hope that you guys enjoy it. Definitely do not forget to let me know what you thought of all of the products that I'll be using today in the comments. Give this video a big thumbs up if you liked it. And of course, subscribe and hit that bell button if you'd like to be notified every time I upload a new video. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so we're first going to start off with the face. I'm going to first prime my skin with this Nivea 2-in-1 moisturizing primer. This one in particular is for dry and sensitive skin. As you guys know, I prefer primers that are more on like the moisturizer side than primers that have like too much silicone in it, just because for my particular skin type, I do have dry skin in case you're wondering. Primers that are supposed to like smooth your skin and have too much silicone in them tend to like pale on my face and really just does not do anything good for my skin when I apply my foundation on top. Now, if you've been watching my channel for a while, then you 100% know this because it's basically the only type of primer that I ever like to use, but I do prefer primers that are more hydrating and have more of like a moisturizer feel to them, just because those are the only primers that I find do not peel on my skin. I'm really excited to try this one out because it is from the drugstore, which means it is affordable, and I've never tried a moisturizing primer from the drugstore before. So this is what it looks like. It comes in a little tub. This is what the product looks like. It looks basically like a moisturizer. Now it says on the box that it's supposed to provide an even and smooth base for effective makeup application and that it instantly absorbs thanks to its ultra lightweight texture. I can tell right away that it's definitely a pretty lightweight formula because it is definitely more gel-like. You guys can see it just like sort of disappears into my skin immediately, which is a good sign, because especially for a primer, you definitely don't want something that's going to be overly greasy, and this does not feel greasy. My face actually feels really nice and soft, so it did feel like it gave me like that instant hydration that I'm looking for, which is perfect. So far so good. I'm really excited to see what a more full coverage foundation will look like on top of this, because that is definitely going to be the real test, especially when it comes to a primer. Obviously, it's all about how the foundation lies on top. So the foundation that we're going to be testing out today is this Natasha Denona Foundation X Full Coverage Fruit Complex Foundation. This is in the shade 20 Light Beige. I have a feeling it's going to be a little bit too dark for me, but that's okay. We'll try and make it work. And now I'm just going to take a little bit of product at a time and just start to dot it all over my face. And I'm going to take my sponge, because that's what I like to use for my full coverage foundations, because it shears it out. And I'm just going to bounce this in. As far as the coverage goes, it's actually not as full of a coverage as I expected. It's definitely covering up my redness nicely, but it's not completely blanking out my face, which I'm actually really liking. That's not a negative for me. I love it when my natural skin shows through. So I actually think I'm gonna leave the foundation at that. I don't really wanna build it up. And even though this is supposed to be more of a matte foundation, I think that the Nivea primer that we put underneath it actually gave my skin a really, really pretty glow, and it's making the foundation look like more on the natural side. So now it's time to jump to the eyeshadow. I have this new Tarte Make Believe in Yourself Eye and Cheek palette over here, and these blue shades over here are totally calling my name. And because this palette only has one matte shade in here, I have another palette that I'm going to be trying out. This is from Stila, and it is the Matte and Metal eyeshadow palette. I'm not sure if this is a newer palette or not, but I personally have never tried it. So it has some mattes in here and then some metallic shades. We're probably not going to be touching the metallic shades today, only the mattes, because the metallic shades are all going to be coming from the Tarte palette. So before we get to the exciting blue shades, we first gotta lay down that transition shade. So I'm gonna grab this shade right over here, and I'm going to apply this right above my crease. And like I said, this is gonna be our transition shade. So you just sort of swipe that on there back and forth. Doesn't have to be too perfect. The shade is super light, so you could be super messy with it and nobody will know. And I'm gonna go into something a little bit more precise. I'm gonna grab my Smith 235, and I'm actually gonna go into the matte shade from the Tarte palette. It's sort of like a mauve-y shade. It complements the other color really nicely, and I'm going to apply this directly into my crease. This isn't a very dark shade, but it's still a little bit deeper than the transition shade. So it's basically just going to give the look a really nice gradiated look. Now I actually don't have a shade that's deep enough in here, so I'm gonna have to go to another palette. Really use any color of your choice. This is just the palette that's right next to me. It's the Kylie, the bronze palette, and I'm going to take the deep dark brown shade in here. It's actually a really nice, very rich color. And on the same Smith brush, I'm going to apply this into my crease and on my outer corner. I'm really gonna try and concentrate this though. on like the outer half of my eye because I really want to give my eye a pulled out effect, and then putting what's ever left over my brush into my crease. Just like that. Now I'm going to go into the shade Mystic, which is this absolutely stunning like grayish steel blue. And on a flat synthetic brush, I'm going to start to apply this all over my lid. Do you see that? Their formula is pretty amazing. It goes on really, really smooth. It doesn't look like chunky. There's no glitter in it. It's just like a pure metallic sheen, and the color payoff is amazing. So I'm just gonna put this on like the first 3/4 of my lid. So for my concealer, I don't actually have a new one that I've yet to try, but this Makeup Forever Ultra HD one. So I'm just going to apply this underneath my eyes to conceal as well as to highlight a little bit. I did apply a little bit more concealer than I normally do, but that's okay. I'm gonna take my beauty blender and just start to buff that out, bounce that in. If you're wondering, by the way, I'm using the shade Y23. So an update on the foundation, I actually absolutely love the way my skin looks. I think the combination of that Nivea primer with this foundation is sort of just perfect. My skin just looks so nice and flawless without it looking cakey. So I'm gonna go back into the Tarte palette, and we are still going to be taking some color. I'm gonna grab the shade Fairy, which is sort of like an indigo blue shade, and I'm actually gonna put this on my lower lash line to give my eyes a little bit more of like a blue pop. So for my waterline, I'm gonna take this navy blue shade from this Estee Edit pencil. This is in the shade 04, and this is called Navy Brat, and it's basically almost the exact same color as the shade that we put on our lower lash line. So I think it's really good to complement it, and that just really like makes the blue pop even more. So for my mascara, I'm going to be taking a brand new one from L'Oreal. This is the Voluminous Lash Paradise, and I'm just going to apply this to my upper as well as to my lower lashes. I really hope this is going to make my lashes look huge because I don't really want to put falsies on. So here is what the mascara looks like. I'm not hating it, but I don't love it. I feel like I wish it made my lashes look a little bit more like Babam. I feel like it lengthened and it gave it a little bit of volume, and it definitely separated, but it didn't do anything in excess. So I feel like I'm sort of left wanting a little bit more. So I don't know. I'm not really sure how I feel about this. I'm definitely going to keep on using it, and we'll see how it goes after I keep on using it, I guess. Okay, so now it's time to finish off the rest of the face. So for my bronzer today, I'm going to be taking this Marc Jacobs Tantastic Omega Bronzer. This is from the new Coconut collection. I have yet to try it out. I've heard really good things about it. Okay, first impressions, I really, really love the shade of this. I really like the way it's applying. It's not applying like too much product at a time, so it's making it really easy to like blend and buff out, which is great because I hate it when bronzers are too pigmented and then you're just left with like a really big orange splotch in your face, because that's never pretty. So I'm really liking this a lot. So for my brows, I have a new product from Makeup Forever that I want to try out. This is called the Brow Liner, and it's basically a liquid eyeliner for your brows. I'm a little bit terrified to use this, to be honest with you, because I don't want my brows to look absolutely crazy. So we'll see if I can get like more of a natural brow look with this, and this is in the shade 10. This is what the little brush looks like. It literally looks like a liquid eyeliner brush. So I'm just gonna start off by, I guess, just sweeping in little strokes. The shade may be a little bit too light for me, but it's really not bad. But I think because this shade is a little bit on the lighter side, it's sort of making it a little bit more forgiving, whereas if this was a really, really dark shade, probably look a lot more intense on my brows. But right now I feel like I'm getting a really nice natural look with this product. I'm just going to take a clean spoolie and brush through them, just try and like distribute the product. So if you're scared of a product like this, don't be, because apparently it makes your brows look really awesome, and it's really not very hard to use at all. Nice. Okay, I'm gonna do the other brow now. So as for my lips, I'm going to be taking this Lancome Matte Shaker. Now this is not a new product for me. I have actually tried this in my last testing new makeup video, but this is a new shade. I actually just picked this up. It is in the shade Energy Peach. If you haven't seen my last testing new makeup video, and you're wondering what I think about this formula, it is probably one of the best like matte lipstick formulas I have ever tried. If you are the type of person who likes the look of a matte lip but doesn't like the feeling of it being super dry, or if you have problems with them like cracking, or just any of like the gross things that comes with having a matte lip, this does not do any of it. And now I'm going to take a little bit of Milani Matte Innocence. This is definitely not a new product. I just want a light nude shade, and this is the first one I saw. I'm gonna put a little bit in the center of my lips, just to give it a slight like ombre effect. I totally forgot to apply blush, highlighter, and I also forgot to use this lip product, which is initially what I want to use. Oh my god, what is happening to me? Okay, let's apply some blush. How did I totally forget that? Wow, okay, so this is actually a new blush palette from Sephora collection that I recently picked up. I'm going to mix these two shades over here because I think that they will complement the eyes and the lips really, really nicely. And then just gonna apply it to the apples of the cheeks and blend backwards. This is from Stila and it's a Heaven's Hue highlighter. So excited to try this. I swatched it, but I've not actually tried it on my face. It's that same like cushiony formula that ColourPop has that's sort of like indents when you press into it. It almost is like a hybrid between a powder and a cream. It's really interesting. So I'm going to take a little bit of this on my finger. This is in the shade Kitten, by the way. And I'm just gonna tap this right on the tops of my cheekbones. This looks so, so, so pretty. So that finishes off today's testing new makeup tutorial. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. I really am pretty excited about basically all the things that I put on my face today. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. Definitely do not forget to let me know what you thought of all of these products in the comments. Have you tried them out? And if you did, let me know what you think of them and give this video a big thumbs up. And of course, subscribe if you're not subscribed already. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.